Okay, let's go.
So in today's video, I want to talk about some surprising reasons that the Black community continues to stereotype light-skinned men. And the first stereotype that I want to talk about is that somehow light-skinned men are being viewed as feminine. I want to say that I really think this stereotype stems from darker-skinned Black men's attraction to light-skinned men. So I honestly believe that these men are physically attracted to light-skinned men, but because of their internalized homophobia, they don't want to admit that that is what it is. And like most people, when someone is romantically interested in a person, they try to prevent them from being in relationships with other people. So
I agree with part of this, but I also think that a major reason for this is also cultivating your options. One, trying to basically better your image. Let's be honest, dark-skinned Black men have had a tendency to not be seen as men for centuries now, and we just started calling Black men actually men just a couple decades ago. We originally did not call them that. The ideal image of men and masculinity is quite the opposite of a dark-skinned Black man, and it's always been that way throughout centuries of American society and perception of masculinity. So, for those reasons, I feel that they are trying to take back the idea of masculinity. Instead of the masculinity meaning quite the opposite image of themselves, they try to make it darker. Dark, black, Afrocentric features mean that you are more basically masculine, and so because of that, they have to, in result, basically imply that light-skinned Black men are feminine, so it's not always, I don't think, that they're attracted to them, though it is true that a lot of dark-skinned men fetishize light features. They fetishize features different from their own, often over a regular basis. So, I mean, you could say that that is true. It's just that, it's not specifically that, I don't think. It's always a homosexual attraction, I don't think. But that's just my perception on that. Continue.
in this case, they're stereotyping these men because they would like to be with these men and they know that they can't be. So they want to try to prevent them from being with other people. And there, like I said, there is a lot of...
Also, it's another thing. If you understand how dark-skinned people act towards light-skinned people, they always act like it's a rush or it's a race to procreate, to reproduce with as many or as light as possible of a partner, basically. That's just how they view lighter-skinned Black people. Of course, they will view light-skinned Black men as competition for their light-skinned women and white women and other races of women. Lighter women in general will gravitate more towards light-skinned men when it comes to preferences than dark-skinned men because of the proximity. So therefore, the competition issue comes at hand at that point. Anyway, continue.
Internalized homophobia. So rather than admitting, hey, I see this man, he's very attractive, I'm attracted to him, they are going to make it seem like it is a negative. Oh, he's gay, he's feminine, he's soft, he's weak. This is a fantasy for them, and it's definitely something where they're projecting. Another stereotype that I've noticed is that there are a large portion.
I think also the whole thing of saying they're feminine and weak has to do with the fact that dark skinned black men have more of a feminine phenotype, so they want to avoid recognizing that. You have to pay attention to this. Black, dark skinned men look like their mothers, and dark skinned black people don't look different as far as their phenotypes, gender wise. The dark skinned woman looks exactly like the dark skinned man. Now, dark skinned men will always try and malign dark skinned women and say they look masculine, but the features displayed are obviously feminine features. I mean, full lips, soft round nose, almond shaped eyes, soft high cheekbones, no brow ridge, round forehead, no, the chin is very soft and round. These are black African dark skinned features that are common among these people, and they look just like their mothers. So, therefore, they have feminine features. Their weakness in dark skinned black men is the fact that they look very much like black women, and that's just the truth of it. But continue.
And of uh, darker skinned black women saying, and sometimes even light skinned or biracial women saying, I don't date light skinned men. And I think this stems from.
Yeah, I honestly wanted to point that out actually earlier than now. Specifically, dark skinned black women are the main ones who show a lot of hate towards light skinned black men. They show more hate towards them than light skinned black women many of the time. I've seen it with my own eyes at work, in a work environment. Literally, this dark skinned black woman had the nerve to tell this light skinned man that he was he seemed light skinned or he was acting light skinned and he could not be trusted. Like, light skinned people were untrustworthy and they were sneaky and they were sly. Yeah, they have some really negative ideas of light skinned people, and that comes from dark skinned women. It's weird. Many of them want to have light skinned children, but they hate light skin with a fucking feeling. It's because they hate light skin with a fucking feeling because they want to be light skinned, but they hate that they're not light skinned, so in turn they hate light skin. That's what happens. Believe me, I was raised by a dark skinned woman, so I know. But anyway, continue.
Like the old Aesop's fable, sour grapes, something that's completely out of your reach, and you want to say that you never wanted it anyway. So it's a way to say, hey, look at me. I could have gotten one of these guys. These guys might have been interested in me, but I turned them down, or I'm turning them down preemptively. Okay? So it's a way to kind of, bolster your ego because you.
Yeah, I don't think this is true at all. Because, in my experience, for one, when it comes to dark skinned black women, I don't know. From what I've seen, dark skinned black women don't really have a problem getting light skinned black men. They're always interested in um, dark skinned black women. The problem they may come across every now and then is the fact that light skinned black men are a minority in the population, and dark skinned black women are the majority in the population, so obviously they're not enough to go around. But, yeah, I don't really think that's really an issue there with dark skinned black women. I will also say, personally for me, I've never maligned light skinned black men. And I've definitely never maligned my own complexion, for that matter. And I've always noticed I'm not dark enough for light-skinned black men, usually because I'm not dark-skinned. So because of that, and I know you might have an issue with me saying that because I know certain people, they don't like me talking about my personal experience, but for me personally, um, you saying like that if you don't have access to light skinned black men, that's going to make you angry at them. I've never been that way. I've just been like, well, for me, I don't experience, a lot of them approaching me or having interest in me. Um, yeah, that's fine, Honestly, to me, it's just kind of like, well, they prefer dark skinned black women. They prefer white women if they prefer lighter, you know. Um, that's fine. I'm not going to really have an issue with that, really, because, to each his own, likes whatever they like. Yeah, and fine. For me, I never attacked light skinned black men. In fact, I've defended light skinned black men regularly. So you can't assume that just because someone does not get much attention from light skinned black men that we're going to hate them. You know, it could be that some dark skinned black women feel like if they trash light skinned black men, that they'll do that in favor of dark skinned black men favoring them. Some dark skinned women do prefer dark skinned men, and I don't blame them for that. I mean, they are dark skinned. Why would you be shocked that they like what they are? You know what I mean? Like, that's not really anything. To me, when it comes to that, I don't like when they're rude about it, because to me, it's like this. There's some things that dark skinned black women will say about light skin, but then not expect other people to say the same thing about dark skin. Okay? So, for example, there is this one individual, this dark skinned black girl, and maybe she didn't know she was dark skinned, don't really care. She was darker than a paper bag, so she was dark skinned in my view. But anyway, the point was, the girl was basically saying that she liked her men to be very, very, very dark, okay? She pointed to a black car and said that that's as dark as she liked it. And she was specifically, that was not the problem. That was fine to me. I don't really care. I mean, maybe some people would say she's, you know, trying to not, she's sexualizing, I guess, dark skinned black men too much, but those are her own men, so whatever. I don't care. The point was that was offensive to me in that situation was specifically that she was describing a man who was my color as, like something dirty or disgusting or disease. Like, she said it like, she was like saying like he's light skinned, like he was like dirty or something was wrong with him. You know, that to me is more the problem. Is okay, you can have a preference, but if I were to say someone was dark skin as if they were diseased at my job, mind you, this was at my job that she was saying this, in front of a dark skinned woman, she would have a fit. I've had situations where dark skinned women got upset simply because they realized, and I may have not even specifically completely said it, but they just realized that I have no attraction to dark skinned black men, you know, um, and they would find that offensive, as if that has anything to do with them. Like, you're a girl. You don't expect me to be attracted to you. So why do you fucking care who I'm attracted to, But anyway, that's how it is. It's always a double standard where dark skinned black people think they can say all these negative things about light skinned people and about brown skinned people. But, they don't expect the same in return. They don't even expect the same feelings as far as preference. Light skinned people and brown skinned people are not even allowed to like what they are. They can't even like their own skin tone. Light skinned people can't even like their own skin tone. Us brown skinned people, we better not like our own skin tone. We cannot, even like it bothers some to even make a distinction that there's such a thing as brown skin. It makes them just freak out, basically. You know, it's just what it is. But yeah, it goes down to that whole aspect, I think, of how they think they can disparage people for their skin tone. But if others disparage them for their skin tone, that's all wrong. It's double standards, and it's the fact that they actually have privilege in the black race. Anyway, continue.
Know that these men would not have wanted to date you in the first place. So that rather than acknowledging that, you want to make it seem like it's the men who you don't want, when in reality, it's actually the opposite. It's the men that don't want you. So another surprising reason that light-skinned men are stereotyped is a lot of people have this opinion, and of course, it just goes into the dating market in general. So in the dating market, certain qualities are going to be viewed as the highest qualities that someone would like. So for example, if a man has a lot of money, that's going to be viewed as a positive quality. If a man has a lot of possessions, a lot of wealth, that's going to be viewed as a positive quality. If a man is very attractive, that's going to be viewed as a positive quality. And those men are going to be getting chosen over other men. So like if women have a choice, the most attractive, the wealthiest, the strongest, they're going to be put first. The powerful, the influential, those men are going to be put first. And a lot of the other men are going to be left behind. In the case of light-skinned men, a lot of them are extremely attractive. So because they're so attractive, people want to actually try to reverse all of the attention and, the attraction that other people have to them. They want to reverse it and say, oh, well, something's wrong with these people, Don't date them, don't want them, don't like them, they're not good. There'll be other stereotypes that they'll try to attach to light-skinned men. So in my opinion, these are 3 stereotypes that are attached to light-skinned men that are untrue, and some of the surprising reasons that people do it. I hope you enjoyed this short video.
Yeah, to me, I think that's a major reason why dark-skinned black men are motivated to say that light-skinned black men are feminine, because they don't want to be left behind. They want access to certain women, and they want to be able to still have a good amount of options. Their best bet of doing that is maligning light-skinned black men to get ahead, basically. Also, I kind of feel like it kind of totals out to the whole fact that, you were saying that specifically that light-skinned black men are, sometimes when they're very attractive, people will basically prefer them, and you feel like many of the time people don't want them to get as much attention. Well, this is not just light-skinned black men, though. I mean, light-skinned black women who are attractive get the same problem. They both get the same thing where people are always trying to attack their looks, especially among black people. The difference is the fact that dark-skinned black men control the black community. Dark-skinned black women don't. Dark-skinned black women follow dark-skinned black men. Dark-skinned black men control dark-skinned black women. People always say dark-skinned black women are so strong, or the black woman is so strong, but she's so weak, honestly, because she's controlled by a dark-skinned black man who has no control over society as a whole. So how strong is she? But that's just my opinion on that. Um, but my point is that she doesn't have much power. Therefore, the maligning of light-skinned black women doesn't happen as heavily as dark-skinned black men to light-skinned black women. I mean, light-skinned black men, because light-skinned black men and dark-skinned black men compete for the same basic dating pool, the same people that they're attracted to and interested in. So that's all I have to say in this video. I think in total, when we talk about different issues based off of gender, having to do with light skin or brown skin people, whether it's light skin and brown skinned women or light skin and brown skinned men, um, as usually the situation is just that you're focused on these people, but the same thing is happening regardless of the gender, just by a different set of people of the same sex, basically. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye, guys.